Good evening, everybody. So, yes, got some interesting stuff to talk to you about. My hands are sticky. Damn, man. It is, mind you, it is pretty warm. I don't know if it's warm where everybody is. Not sure. Yeah. Do you know one thing, right? People sometimes turn around and say, "Oh, can you play this? And can you play that?" Well, I have a request. And I got a request. And very soon you're going to hear what that request is. Very good evening, everybody. So, yes, I was asked about doing a request. And this request is by a band from the United Kingdom. The song, I'm not sure what the song is. I have asked. So let's take the glasses off because I can't see anything. Now, the band is called Snow Patrol. That's the band. What the song is, don't know. And Hugh is saying, if there's any lead guitar in it, you're screwed. Oh my lord. I'm knackered before I even pick the guitar up. Shock horror. Now, as many of you may know, last night, wow, that was a very late night. I was watching something, and I'm going to speak about that in a little bit. Just keep it on you, yeah. And you got a request from, no, I got a request from somebody who is not going to be appearing on camera. It's going to be me on camera. But two of us are going to play. And I'm going to do the singing of that song. And it's going to be the only video on this channel where I'm not going to make any money from the video. It's because basically some songs are copyrighted, and so I won't be doing the monetization on that track. But I was asked to do it, so I'm going to do it. Is that why your hair sheared? No. This is basically something new. They asked me yesterday. So, um, hopefully tomorrow, being Monday, hopefully Rob, the instructor of the Udemy course, has fixed the problems with the Udemy Web Development 3 course. And then I can just plod on, get everything done. And you see, I was looking at the alternative. Now, the alternative does not mention anywhere HTML5. It does mention CSS. And what threw me was when I looked at it yesterday, it said CSS 3. And I was like, well, because on the Udemy, it just says CSS. So it may be an update. It could be. But here's the good bit. That obviously finish the course and get more of an understanding to do with coding and go through there's 35 parts to CSS. Then you go to the next section and basically we finish the whole 9 yards of Web Development 3. And as we're doing that, well, as I am doing that, I'm showing you, because that's the whole process of doing it. I'm showing you. I know there's some of you who are absolute experts. Yes, I know that. But this is me. This is my adult learning journey. How much have you paid Rob? That much. And there was a chat assistant with Udemy who looked at the issue yesterday and also the message, which was to the instructor. And the hope is, come Monday morning early, and go back to that. You must have paid something. Yes, I did. I paid £18.99 for Web Development 3.0. But that was some time ago. So yes, I did pay. I paid also for the course with the boot camp. I paid 18 again. And then the other course, which was Solidity, I think I got that with 80% off. I think that was 13 quid. Um, and so Corvo is saying, also, Cool told you Rob Percival deleted his website. Well, no, he didn't. Because he's still on Facebook. Rob works as an interior decorator now. Yeah, probably. Well, as I was explaining to the assistant yesterday, adult learning, right? Learning to code. There are people, and I looked at something today, and that was explain a full stack developer. And it was a very short video, under 5 minutes, where you have to understand the front end and the back end of what you're doing. What it said in the video I watched today was this: you don't have to be a PhD expert. Now, Corvo is saying that is not his website though, to Cool. Probably the point probably is that he's not offering that course anymore. Well, actually, he still is part of that course. He's a teacher, and so what else we got? Paul, that was really rude. Apologize for your mockery. This is not a professional stream does. Making funny voices. Oh, shock horror. Bok. He'd probably just keep the course on Udemy, so passive income. Well, do you know the thing is, right? What I'm going to say to you is this, and I said the same thing to the assistant yesterday. When a person is choosing to go into a subject like learning, web development or programming, stuff like that, it's not where you would come in and you would do the course and you would say, okay, I'm now an expert. Because things evolve, things change. And that's my point. Bok is saying about passive income. Well, there are many, many ways of a passive income. Some of those ways are, Lardo is saying, it says Rob has 2,387,079 total students. That may be over years and years and years. But most people who go to become a student, right, when they've learned one subject, they want to learn some more, something different. Like, here's an example. Yeah. Part of the models within web development I've seen in the Udemy, which is something I've never come across, but it is on Superbase, and that is SQL. And somebody is saying it's his last name is CGI. Could be BGI, could be 3GI. You can make up whatever you want at the end of the day. But let's just think this, yeah? The aim is simple. Progress all the way through this course, and in the background, two things will happen. From that two things, I said to you about the games. Yeah. The games Streets of Home, the motorbike racing game, and also the sea racing game, if you remember. Now, to do that, I'm going to be going into a community. And no doubt, because that community has 1.4 million active users, I think having the knowledge of how to code will set me in good precedence with them. So that's a key factor, because the games, they were never in my thoughts. It was just like that song, Street to Home, is about the roads within Newcastle upon Tyne. Some of those roads I would drive down and pick passengers up, drop passengers off over years and years and years. So you you get to know the knowledge of like who a person is, who's getting on board your vehicle, and some of those people were very, very nice. But that was the premise of Streets of Home. It was like a tiny little example for you, just a tiny one, is there was a lot of drivers in my depot that absolutely hated a match day. And the reason why they hated a match day was dead simple. You have to go dead, dead slow from the Black Bull on Barrack Road into the city centre, and there's two ways you can do it. One is you come down past St James's Park, you go through the Gallowgate, and then straight onto Blackett Street. And the second way is when you come to the end of the Gallowgate, you turn down Newgate Street and you go that way. And they used to absolutely hate it because they were always late. Why? Tens of thousands of people wearing black and white. Russell Smith, good evening. So yes, and what I'm going to do is this: finish what I started, get the certificate, so that the certificate will be up on the wall, and I can say, yep, done that, and now we move forward. And this journey is going to be quite a long one. And the one thing that I am looking forward to is eventually renting a property within the city centre of Nottingham, and a second one in the city centre of Newcastle upon Tyne. And that's going to be for people to come in and work. That's the objective. Could you put your certificate next to your license pass? Well, no, not yet. I can't. No. And what would the people do in said offices? They would man the phones. They would do sales. And one of the key things which a lot of people didn't realize, what is the core value of what's coming? What should have been there in the first place? But it couldn't be there. You do not need to rent a property. You can save money by offering homework. Yes, to start with, yes. I'm talking about when figures come in that match my expectations. Sales of what? Corvo is asking. Within every city centre, there are businesses who want to attract more into their shops, into their businesses. And what better way to do it with social media? Because that is what is going to come. If you have offered contractual homework and those employees won't be happy if you then make them go into an office. Businesses which come out of this sector, right? The idea is you start one place and you move forward. Moving forward is when you have hit targets and then you decide, okay, let's have a physical presence. It's all right having the online, but you want to move forward so that people can actually walk through the door and say, wow, this is real, because we just walked through the door of it. Now, what we got here? Working from home rates, what was that? Rates is a massive thing with unions. Yeah. You cannot change an existing contract on a whim. No, but what you can turn around and say, Bert, is this. You can turn around and say that this is where you're going to start, and the aim is to have a physical office. So yes, you're going to be working from home to begin with, but the aim is an actual real office where, to begin with, you just walk in there in whatever you've got on, and as you grow, you turn around and say, right, we'll do it a bit smarter. We'll have a uniform. Mm-hmm. Now, with the uniform, you're going to have, what is it, cleaning costs, refund, that sort of thing. And right, what else? Well, somebody just said there. Oh, pardon me. Somebody just said that. Russell has just said that about an empire. That's possible within, 10 years. It is. Because there's some exciting stuff. Really exciting things. And some of those things which are very, very exciting, well, they are yet to happen because they're on the Waves exchange. And as you have, you can create an account on the Waves. Yes, you can. Dead easy. You can fund it. But at this moment in time, what you can't do is access what's on there on my side. And Bert is saying, I'll be 80. Why not make it 90 or 100? So I get me my nice little card off His Majesty. And, in 8 years, you've been. What's that say? In the 8 years, you've been unemployed. Well, no, you are massively, massively incorrect. The reason why you are massively incorrect is because we are in 2025. Had we been 2028, well, you may have had a valid point, but no. Right. And Bok is saying, Paul, software firms don't really do uniforms. Do I look like I care? Because what I'm looking at doing with these things, which are coming, is this. Eventually, all staff will have a uniform. All staff will have a badge. And that badge is to tell anybody coming in what their name is, what their role is. And that's it. And Cool is saying you will still achieve nothing. Well, cool. You've got a very easy peasy solution, Cool. And it's this. If you honestly believe what you are saying, do that. Yeah, just do that. You see, I've already proved certain things. And like Benny said the other day, oh, somebody's gone and done this. What they did was a clone. And they used an excuse. You chose the wrong license. It's adult learning. You are going to make mistakes. Yeah? You are going to make mistakes. You are going to fall down and smack your backside off the floor. That's what happens in adult learning. Oh, mate, do us a favour. Look, you're in my chat. You want to create a YouTube channel? Brilliant. Go ahead and do it. Like I said to somebody else, yeah, the other day. No, it wasn't the other day. It was the other week. Mark H., who said, I have a channel. Let's do a collab together. And I said to him, when you get to this figure, we'll do one. Yeah. And that's an honest reflection, because getting from 0 to 1,000 subscribers is like climbing Mount Everest with no equipment at all, just you and your fingertips. Right. Everyone in this chat has got a YouTube channel, Chompa says. Is that correct? Do you want to achieve great things, but the only people involved is everyone here? Russell, if you believe that, just do that, mate. Do that. I haven't got the time and I haven't got the effort. So just do one. You can't chat without a YouTube channel. Oh, I can do a lot more than that. I can do a lot more than that. And for those of you who, you just, you don't believe, right? I could turn around. Do it the easy way. Do it the easy way. Oh. Yo. Oh. Right, we'll do it the easy way. So. Right. Yeah, we'll do this the easy way. Okay. Log on. And we'll... Right, we're now on a form of social media. So, let me just have a little look. Pardon me. Right. Okay. So, this is one form of social media. Oh, just one. So we've got 32K TV, PETA Highway, Geordie Nation, this YouTube channel you are watching me right now, Must Have Products, Crypto Empire, R Music, Dual Energy, R Neighborhoods. Let's see more. There is United Fed. After that, there is County Coin, Solar Travel, Streets of Home, UBBC, and then you have old ones, which was a very old business idea where I was linked to Shopify. And with Shopify, every so often, you sign in, you have to show your identification. Now, there's two forms of identification. There is a driving license and there is a passport. Now, I don't have a passport. I've never had a passport. But those are two valid forms of ID. And Special Surprises went down the gutter because my driving license was in Swansea. And the reason it was in Swansea was because COVID. Half of the staff weren't there, weren't in the building. So every single thing I've just told you there is a page on social media site. And just to give you a little rough idea, What they tell you is this: when you build a page, if you get that page, if you are lucky enough to get that page to 2,000 people, they're going to pay you money. Yeah. So let me just have a little thing here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and there are more. So 16 different things that you grow each one to over 2,000 each, and then you get paid each month forever. Well, not forever, but you get the point. Now, that, having that in the bag means that these 6 apps, those 6 apps are 6 opportunities to make money from. Now, as we all know, most of us anyway, most of us here know that one of those, seekingyou.org, was copied. And that's exactly what happened. It was copied, it was cloned. Because somebody had turned around and said in chat, you put in MIT. Yeah. I put that because I'm still in the baby steps. Which is true. I'm still learning. So yes. You should check out again, as they have changed a lot. Not bothered is the honest answer. Not bothered, because I spoke to somebody and they've passed the information up the chain. So, I'm not really bothered. I bought a t-shirt. Did you? Well, if you've bought a t-shirt, if you have, I will have had an email. So because I haven't had the email, I'll reserve my congratulations. Now, Corvo was saying, Paul, is this your website or the stolen one? Could you explain a bit more? That is the stolen version, as we all know. And, things do get stolen. It's 99.99% the Chinese who do that, The Chinese have secret whisperers everywhere. And, when somebody comes up with something that's really cool and good, oh, yeah, we'll have that. And, they'll never find out. No, they'll never find out. So, yeah. I don't care if it's kind of racist or not, because it's actually true. So, yeah, the Chinese may be listening. What you saying? But, you see, I have learned, and because I've learned, you learn the hard way. Well, I don't have a thing about what is happening, I think that subject, it's been removed by Corvo, thank you, but something that's happening thousands upon thousands of miles from the United Kingdom, I haven't got a clue on. You know, I mean, I couldn't tell you what is happening. I don't watch the news all that much. I do see news on my phone, but the you know, certain situations are bad and they could be better because people could live together in peace. They just don't. I heard. Um. Oh wow, wow, wow! Do you know dill pickle? Oh my lord! Oh God, Bennett. That's about as much as I care about the subject. So please, try on. You see, do you know one thing I've never ever done, ever in my whole entire life, is this. If I'm in a relationship and for whatever reason that relationship goes down the toilet, the one thing I've never ever ever done is run back to that person. What I do is I say, fair enough, you've made an adult decision. Fair enough. And I head in a direction of the compass and I don't stop till I get to that place. And then maybe one, two, or a certain time after that, I'll come back. So, what, all these people who come in and turn around and say this and say that and say the other. When you're an adult, you either take it and move forward or you sob your heart out. And that's it. So, yeah, what happens, happens. The one thing I will say is this. For those people who, they try their best to get to, like a decade or more, that's a brilliant one. Because to get to that length of time with a person or more, that's brilliant. But yeah, right. I'm going to remove you because I don't really think that you want to be here. I think that all you want to do is go, I'll stir the pots. I'll stir the pots. So do yourself a favour, man. Go and book somebody else. Right, Corvo, got a job for you, mate. And send this person on their journey. Now, the one thing I will be sharing with you is some snippets. Those snippets are from 1.4 million people. I'm going to show you what they think when I'm doing something. And this is so that the games can push forward. Because I'm going to ask them about the game engine. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is Unreal 5. How many other game engines are there? I do know there is a Crysis engine for the game, Crysis. I thought Crysis 3 was absolutely epic. But how many game engines are there? Road Dog is saying, what do you think of the GTA trailer? I haven't seen it, so I can't really tell you. I was watching something which is about to hit the market. That is a space game, and I was watching that earlier, and I was like, okay, it looks impressive. And what you have to do in this game is you have to build within a circle. You have to build modules, and you must, apart from the person I was watching playing the game, you must every day go to bed and recharge. And it's obviously it's modular based, where you're in a circle, and there is blocks within the circle where you can interchange them. So yeah, but when I go into this community, I'm going to tell you what the community has said. Uh, right. So 1 second here. Imagine being his Department of Works and Pensions contact. This is what he'll be like and how we got onto this. Well, that makes a lot of sense. When I talk to them at the job centre, you get exactly 10 minutes. It's like the doctors. You go to see the doctor, you're in there 10 minutes. And you get a cleaning job, that's your level, mate. Well, if that's my level, there you go. Off you go. Is it true you're one of the characters? No. The game Grand Theft, the last one I played, think, I'm not certain, I think it was San something or other. One thing, yeah. Where is it? Yeah, it is. NUFC. The game is never happening. You really need to sort your priorities out. That makes me absolutely kill myself laughing. Because wake up to reality, mate. I've put the games onto GitHub. They're private, but they're on GitHub. And the code that is there for the games, through this course that I'm doing, NUFC, through this course I'm doing, Web Development 3.0, I'm learning the key skills to go back to that games and add even more code. So I'll say this much, and this is to NUFC. If you want to try and come in and disrupt, it ain't going to work. And that's the honest answer. It's not going to work, because one thing is this. When I start something, I finish it. So, right, 50 quid. You know, when you say that 50 quid, let's have it to the food bank. What you're on about is this, mate. What you're on about is when I said on here that if Newcastle United finished fourth, well, here's the thing. That was 3 seasons ago. So you're a bit late saying about the food bank being a donation. Now, Hugh is saying, look at my eyes laid over. Oh! Yeah, you honestly, man. Really, really, really. I'm not on about that. All right. You know what it is, mate? See you later, mate. Away you go. And do me a favour. Corvo, when he comes back in, just, trot him on. Yeah. Go away. I ain't got time. Or the energy. If you're going to come in and, do all of this stupid stuff, go and do it somewhere else. I provide here like I provided before. Oh, damn, man. Oh, son of a... Oh, man. My blooming cup has gone cold. Right. So, yeah. And to all of those people who are going to be at St James's Park tonight for Sam Fender, I hope they all have a wicked time. Yeah. One thing I'd love is this. If it's possible to make everything what I'm trying to do become what I want, my targets, that means the people of the northeast of England, they're going to get a lovely, lovely present. And it could be that I travel up and I turn around and walk in to their business. And it could be that when I walk into their business and I turn around and say, right, I believe that you are looking for money, investment. There it is. And I'm going to add you to both of these things, which are going to run for the next 50 years. Now, I'm not going to be alive in 50 years' time. Miss, you understand, sir? However, I can pass what I'm doing on. So that's what I'm going to do. Pass it on. So that maybe, 50, 60 or more years into the future, these are still running and they will never stop. They'll just keep on the same moral code. I could hit, I could hit 100, Provo. I could. I didn't expect to hit 50. I didn't. But I'm here. And that was because, you know, other things. Wow. Somebody's just given me 10 years. Shock horror AE. Giving me 10 years. And somebody is saying it doesn't look real. Well, why are you here? What would happen to 32 TV if somebody invented? They're not going to do that. So there we go. I was, Steve. I was. But every year, everybody has a birthday, don't they? Well, most people do anyway. Now, right. We invented 1080, then 2K, and then 4K, and then 8K. All right. One thing is certain is this. In the next 2 weeks, we have to rise to 2,000 subscribers. And from 2 weeks onwards, throughout the year, I'm going to hit you with another figure. We're not going to do it all together. I can, Raw Dog, I can. Yes. That's a good thing as well. And me and family were talking last night about this. The lane of merchandise. And that line of merchandise is here. It's the thing. So yeah, we are looking at that. Hugo is saying, is it true you've retired now? I'm going to use coding Hugh going forward. I'm going to use it all the way through and beyond. And somebody was saying the other day, they might, it's not confirmed, it's might increase the retirement in the United Kingdom to 71 years old. So take that with a little tiny bit of salt. But do I have? No, I don't. I know this. I watched a program about what you're on about, Steve. But no, I don't. I'm not even interested. So there you go. Why? What would you be retiring from? Would you swim the Tyne? Are you on about Raw Dog swimming from the Newcastle side to the Gateshead side? Alice, Paul loves his OnlyFans program. There's actually only one program on it, and it was by a reporter who was speaking to, I believe, there was 7 different people, and how some of them have north to South Shields. No, 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 no. That's a big bit of water. Are you qualified to drive? No, that's a boat. Now, one thing I do know, Corvo, is this. If I were to acquire a boat at some point, you get to be the captain. Just saying. Bonnie Blue is from Nottingham. Okay. Did you spend much time in North Shields? Fishing, yeah. Will you be in Streets of Home as a character? No. I've seen a job opening at Greg's in Nottingham. No, because if I went for a job at Greg's, I'd probably eat all the steak pies. Guilty, yeah, I would. Because when I do go up north and I do wander into Greg's, that's the only thing I want. And they don't do pies. Never been a pie person. What? Is the elephant behind you? It's whatever you want it to be. If you want it to be that, it's that. Yeah. Same as the picture. If you want it to be, it's that. This whole world in which we live in is that. Oh dear me. You make me laugh. So but yeah, what I was showing you before was, well, I didn't show you it, but I said about it, one form of social media. And that one form of social media has 20 plus pages. So between now and when I retire, when that day comes round, if it's 67 or if it's 71, the good part is this. That if it's 71 and they want me to work until 71, fine, I'll do that. Because now I have better things to look at, including coding. Oh yes, that's going in the bin. Damn, you're heavy, man. Yeah. Now, I haven't got my glasses on, as you can see. That's the only problem, you know, when you're playing. You've got to keep your fingers nice and dry. And you've got to think of this. Who else does this? Damn, man, that didn't go right. That's one of the good things, you see. Adult learning, it doesn't always go the way you plan it. But it doesn't always go perfect. As long as you try. See, years and years ago, right, one of my friends played his guitar and he went through brutal pain. You see, the tips of your fingers. He played and played and played beyond the pain until his fingers bled. What I used to do ages and ages ago was play and play until I go, yeah. And then I'd stop. And you get calluses on the tips of your fingers. And this person who played until his fingers bled, he is an amazing person, truly, because we went into a studio in Blythe. Most people up in Blythe, where Dan Burns from, yeah, Dan Burns. Well, most people from Blythe will know there's a place up there called the Brick Centre. And we went in there with our guitars, and there was these amplifiers. I mean, I'm using the Fender Champion 100, which is, that's what you can hear. Now, the volume on mine is a smidge over 2. That's it. So if I was to play on like what we used to do at the Brick Centre, you would not be able to hear while I'm playing what I'm saying. The music level is just so loud. And back in the day, what we used to do was, I went into B&Q, and you can get these soft, spongy things like in here to protect your hearing. And any time I've really blasted the music out, they've always been in there, because your hearing is like your sight. Very important. Now, came across something else as well very recently. Your top string. That's your top string. It's the E. However, if you detune it, you move down. So this is a G. This is a G. And that's moving up. So when you're going live for a gig, you detune. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Detune for when I'm doing gigs. And then one thing you will hear, well, you'll see it, is that when I'm doing gigs, because what that does, it changes the See, years and years ago, right, there's a place called Windows, which somebody said the other day, Windows in the Central Arcade, it is not there no more. But I went and got that, which is made of brass. And I also got the glass version. And moving from West Denton to elsewhere, the glass one shattered. Now, the reason I said to you, the reason I was saying to you, right, the other night about content creators was this. Most of you will know about the Newcastle United content creators. Adam Pearson, Lee Lawler, Steve Wraith, Rob Rubenstein, Matty Renton, the lads from Gallagher Shots, some mentioned the other night, John Sinclair, Paul Ditchburn of Toon Review, Billy again from the Toon Review, who is the only person who actually can play a musical instrument. And one thing I want to say to you all is this. Now, I was given this. So, can you guess what that was? I will tell you what it is, but can you guess what it is? And well, Corvo, when I was playing the acoustic guitar, there's a thing you can get which comes here and here, where they used to use it in the old days, one-man band, where you'd have a big bass drum on the back and it would be linked to the bottom of the ankle of the player, and he would go dum 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 while playing the guitar, yeah, and then he would lean forward, go, yeah. Well, this which I've got here, one second. Oh, right. But this was given to me to say, you know, add this to your music. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alice is saying, Paul, would you like to make content with me for my OF? What? OF? Alice? Not sure. Elaborate, please, on the OF, because no clue. Alice, did you make? Oh, OnlyFans. I thought that was something like private, and you want me to like come in on something that's private. Hmm, don't know about that. Why don't you busk with that drummer guy outside the Strawberry? Well, do you know, it's one thing I was thinking of doing. There's an amplifier that you can get where it has a battery. Now, there's another kind of one where it's similar to the Champion. Alice, here's a thing for you. Here's a thing for every person here. You can turn around and say, I have made this, I have made that, I have made the other. The point I'm trying to get across to you is this. When I was saying to you about doing these apps, I have a very strict structure, a core. And that core is where I am using something as a currency. And there we go. And Corvo is saying, oh, Alice is here. The veil has fallen. I don't know. I will say this much, that when the end of the month comes and I pop out 2 things, a lot of people are going to ask a lot of questions. I'm just saying. And when they ask questions, you know, it's going to be Why? That's going to be one of the questions. The things what's going to come out are going to be checked and verified before they move. They're going to be checked in what's called a container, because that's what they do. That's what all of these things do. It's a container. It's like a sandbox. And the sandbox term comes from, what's it called again? What's it called again? It's not OpenSea. It's connected to that. I will think of it. Why is this guy who can't get past HTML teaching us about stuff? Fireburn. As I said to a few people beforehand, and I'll say it to you, you don't like, do that. You know? I may be on the baby steps. Yeah, I'd agree. 1000%. But I never have been the kind of person, even when I did buses, I was never the person to turn around and say, I'm coming in, I'm doing my shift, and 9 to 5 didn't exist. 9 to 5 does not exist on the buses. No. Oh, no. I did 10, 12, sometimes 13 hours at work. I wasn't always driving, because that would be illegal. But I was still there, because some of the time I was spare, and in that time I was watching a vehicle to make sure no one tried to nick it. You know. Oh, dear me. Raw Dog is saying, can you tell us the story about... I'm not bothered, Raw Dog. That's the honest answer. I am not bothered. Just even that. Even that. I'm not bothered. See, the reason why, Raw Dog, is this. When you become an adult, you make choices. Yeah? And when somebody that you decide to do something with decides the grass is greener, it's greener. Or the grass has been dyed. So, don't really care. And Ben, oh, hold on. He's not saying Newcastle. What? It's not that I can't legally tell anything. It's gone. It's past tense. And the future awaits. Like the future where I go from HTML5, CSS, PHP, Python. Please tell me if I've got these in the right order. Please tell me. And then I come out of the end with either all the certificates for each different one, or I get one certificate. I have no idea. But I'll tell you this much. What I came across today what I came across the other day to do with games is very exciting. And to be part of a community as somebody who's learning. And that's what it is. It's learning. That's what I'm doing, learning. That is going to take me through 2025, 2026. And what I really want to be able to do is this. As we go through 2025, I want to go to Germany. I want to go to Italy. I want to go to Spain. And when I'm at these places, I'm going to go live, just like I am right now. Except I'm going to go live next to a football stadium. And either before that football stadium or just after it, I'll be going live again. Pardon me. Did you, Alice is saying, hold on. Did you ever apply for, no, I didn't, mate. Never. I do know people who have, yes, but no, not me. What money will you go, what? With what money? From what I'm bringing out. There's going to be a wage. And in that wage, I'm going to put a little bit to one side. That is going to get passport. That is going to get a plane ticket. And it's going to also buy the most expensive hotel room, the very top, the penthouse. If you believe that. There is no story about the Vectra. So there you go. You can make OF content in a hotel room. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Can we crowdfund for I get a brass delivered? Eh? What? So is that a proposition, Alice? Is it? Because I kind of think, above those things. Now, what was that one? Didn't someone once lie? Oh yes, that waste of a day where family ripped me a new one because of a 450-mile round trip for. Yeah, I'm still waiting for that one. Yeah, but yeah, that was an absolute shambles. But we move on. So yeah, I don't care. Past tense. So yeah. But yeah. Fireburn, you tell me. You tell me who's gonna do that. You tell me. Now, fingers crossed tomorrow morning. Up early and straight on to Udemy fingers crossed, the tests are unlocked, or I go to option 2. If I go to option 2, I'm going to ask for a refund. And there we go. Yeah, Corvo was right. Yeah. Yeah. I had that conversation where for at least weeks was I've wasted my day. I've done this. I could have been doing that. Yeah. I had the whole 9,000 hours of it, and nah, would never do that again. But there is something happening this week, and it could be very positive. What's that? I can't even pronounce that. So somebody's preparing for an exam. All the best with your exam. I'm sorry I can't pronounce what you just typed in chat. I'd love to, but I'm dyslexic, so I apologize in advance. So he went to, and yeah. Well, do you know, the thing is, right? People sometimes want to yank your chain, and that one, it happened. So, yeah. If you bought the course years ago, Paul, I think the best you'd be past a refund window. That you might be right, Bok Bok. You might be right. But you see, I was saying to the assistant yesterday, and the assistant agreed 100%. If you buy in a course, right, and something happens in your life that's beyond your control, and then time happens to whiz by, and then you start to come back, learning is for life. It's not just for a year or a specific time period, it is for life. Because people who do a subject, whether it's maths, English, or whatever, once they've achieved a level, the natural progression is you rise. You go for the next one. And a classic example of that was when I was showing you the NVQ2 that I have. So yeah. Will you consider back pay? What was that? One thing I'm going to there's one thing I want to be able to do. And I don't believe any YouTube channel does this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to be able to give money. That's the end goal. You see, some people turn around and say to me, "Oh, we saw your video the other day, and there was a bit of a pause in it." And I was like, "Okay, yeah." And why didn't you edit that out? Because I don't edit this live 1 hour and 40 minutes. Once this live is finished, it'll go to YouTube Studio. I'll change the picture from me wearing this to me wearing a white shirt, and then send it. And that's all I do. And when people turn around and say about, oh, well, why didn't you like do this and do that and do the other? The overall goal with my channel is grow it to 3,000 subscribers before the new football season. And then those people who have come in to moderate for me, to give them something. And if there are any other like channels, how much are they doing? How much are they paying to their moderators? Because that was my goal all along, to have somebody who does the editing. And an example for you, when I'm when I'm coming up to St James's Park, instead of me holding the phone, doing this, yeah, and talking to people, yeah, somebody else is doing that, and they are being paid a wage. That's the whole point of doing. When you pass the 1,000 on YouTube, YouTube then classes you as a small business. And when you want to grow, here's another example, yeah, likes of what John Sinclair TV. He has 29,000 subscribers. There's other ones like Sir Paul Ditchburn of The Toon Review. He is just coming up to 40,000. Now, when I get to those dizzy heights, and some days I'll be playing guitar, some days I'll be coding. And when I'm coding, it's a case of I need a camera, which I've got a second camera, which is the little mini camera. Yeah. So I have that. I can put that on a tripod and press the button so you can see what's on screen while I'm chatting to you. Alice is a CIA PSYOP. Would you should invite guests? Well, that's coming. There will be eventually a link, and that link you can click on and you can come in, we can have a discussion, and we can do 2 hours of chat about Newcastle United or right, Steve, delete your comment or you will be removed. So I'm giving you the option. It's in my description. I need another screen for that because I have got it. It wasn't me, Alice. What I did was I just was looking at something and I went to remove somebody, and unfortunately it might have been you, but it wasn't banned. Now, there was a person the other day who got really, really on my nerves. But that was then. I was tamed out. Got you. Why can only... Well, the other person I don't believe is here. What? Are you... You're just absolutely bonkers, mate. And I'm not even reading out what you just said. I do know what it is, but let's see. But as we move forward to the new football season, the moderators, they're just going to get a little bit where teacher was back in the day with a ruler. You step out the lane, they're going to pop down on you. Oh, Fireburn, you're in the wrong place, mate. Sorry, you were in the wrong place. Now, the hope is tomorrow that Udemy is fixed. And then if it's fixed, I'll carry on doing I've got the audio and video test to complete. Then it's putting it all together test. So that's 2 tests. Then it's CSS. And then we move from CSS. Would you... What? What are you on about, John? What are you on about? What's a straightener? What's this straightener meant to be? Would you ever appear on Paddy Conroy's channel? No, because he does it from his garden shed. What was that one? No, do you know the thing is, right? Everybody's got this silly idea, of like, I'm 58 years old. I'm not 20 anymore. I'm not down the big market on a Friday or a Saturday night. I'm 58 years old, man. Yeah. I'm not interested. Just not interested. There's only one thing I would do. I would do for charity. And it is scary as hell. But I would do it for charity. I would challenge every Newcastle United YouTube channel to go onto the Tyne Bridge, get attached to a zip line, and go from the Newcastle side all the way across the water to the Sage on a zip line, and do that for charity. My charity would be Alzheimer's UK. So yeah, I would. There's some real silly people. But it is what it is. No, I wouldn't. But the reason why I wouldn't do that is because a parachute from the top of Civic Centre, it wouldn't open. Or you'd hit the ground at a massive speed. So no, I wouldn't. How quickly do you think you could finish a pint of beer? No. But I would do a zip line from the Tyne Bridge all the way across to Gateshead. Yeah, I would do that. Now, here's the hope. In the next 2 weeks, here's the hope. We need to get to 2,000 subscribers. So, you know what the content is. You all know what the content is. So, spread the word. And the hope is tomorrow, early, I will be live and we move forward. Now, thank you all for being here. And on your way out, hit the like. And tomorrow, 11:30, be there or be square. Thanks very much.